Hello again, Year 11. Today we are looking at exercise 5D. It's actually called range of probabilities in your textbook, but I'd rather call it totals. So the lesson is called totals, or you could write probability totals. Basically, there's two important things to know. And I bet you already knew both of these. All of probabilities between 0 and 1. And that's what this says here. The probability of any event is always going to be in between 0 and 1. Okay, that's just what that weird looking notation there means. And let's think about this. The fraction of a half, that's between 0 and 1. And that's the probability of flipping tails on a coin. All right, think of any kind of probability at all. The probability that you might score a goal in a certain soccer game might be 20%. And you say, hang on, that's not between 0 and 1. But think about 20% is the same thing as 0.20 or 20 out of 100, which in fact, yes, it is between 0 and 1 still. The other thing is all probability must add to a total of 1. So let's think about this, for instance. The probability of flipping heads and tails on a coin, they add up to 1 because probability of getting heads is a half, probability of getting tails is a half. Add them together, that gives you 1 whole. Let me ask you this then. If I said to you, okay, we've got a bucket, the probability of getting a yellow is 2 in 5. Probability of getting a red is 1 in 5. So what would be the probability of getting a blue? You say, well, I know all probabilities have to add to 1. If there's only yellow, red, and blue in the bucket, 2 out of 5, 1 out of 5, find the difference that adds to 1 whole. Well, it's just 2/5, because 2/5 plus 1/5 plus another 2/5 gives you 5/5, which is 1 whole. So thinking of it in that way is a good way to understand that. So let's go straight into a fraction style question about this stuff. A bag contains 10 marbles. The probability of choosing a red marble is 3 in 10. Hang on a second, what's happened here? I think there we go. Blue, 2 out of 10, and white, 2 out of 10. The rest are yellow. Find the probability of choosing red or blue. So the probability of R or B. Well, you say to yourself, hang on, what did Miss say? Or means plus. So the probability of getting a red is 3 out of 10. Plussing it with the probability of getting a blue is 2 out of 10, which gives me 5 out of 10, which simplifies to 1 in 2. So it's a 1 in 2 chance of getting a red or a blue. Probability of getting a yellow. You say, well, they didn't tell me that. They just said the rest is yellow. But I've got 3 out of the 10 marbles are red, 2 out of the 2 are blue, and 2 out of the 10 are white. 3 plus 2 plus 2 gives me 7, which means there's 3 left over that are yellow. So the probability of getting a yellow is 3 in 10. And I found that by using that idea that all probabilities have to add up to 1 whole. Pretty nice and easy. So now, if they ask you the same question, but this time using percentages, we have a bag contains lollies, chocolates, and vegetables. The probability of picking a lolly out is 25% and a chocolate is 60%. So what's the probability of getting a vegetable? Well, if I was to show my working properly, it's going to be, well, if I'm sticking with my percentages, it's 100% minus my 25% and my 60%. And that right there is going to give me 15%. And generally, if they gave you it in percentages, you should have your answer in percentages unless they've said otherwise. And there we have it. So, really nice basic 2 ideas about probability and just practicing them and some more probability. Okay, here's the questions I want you to do in 5D. All letters on each one of those questions. And if you're finding it a bit straightforward and you want a bit more of a challenge, have a go at questions 11 and 12 in level 3. Otherwise, these are the minimum.